it's almost Christmas time, and guess what? We at Pacific Justice Institute are addressing a Christmas controversy. That's right, a Christmas controversy, and we're going to talk to one of our attorneys about that in the second half of the show. Now, in the first half of the show, we're going to interview a gentleman who is an expert on a tremendous, horrific scandal through Equifax that I think you'll find very eye-opening and also very helpful on specifically what you need to do to help protect you and your family. But before we do that, I first want to touch on something that's very important that really struck me. Looking at an article here from Fox News, I want to share with you about an individual who was harassed horrifically and unfairly by pro-Palestinian student group that decided to attack him. Members of Students for Justice in Palestine disrupted a speech by openly gay Israeli activist Hen Mazig at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. An openly gay former humanitarian officer in the Israeli Defense Forces said he was shouted down, mocked, and laughed at while he was giving a speech at the public university. And this is to quote him directly. He said, "When I shared my story of coming out of the closet, they laughed. When I shared the story of my Iraqi grandfather killed for being Jewish in 1951, they giggled." He said the group also mocked him when he shared a story about almost dying in a terror attack at an ice cream shop when he was 12 years old. To quote him, he says, quote, "This is the face of hate, bigotry, and fascism." Also, there's a video of the speech which shows that this group, this pro-Palestinian student group, jumped up and started yelling at him. They were holding signs that read, "Fascists off our campus," and "Israel occupation forces." I'm really disturbed about this on two counts. First is the fact that this, at a public university, we're seeing more and more of this, where these radical, in-your-face Islamic pro-Palestinian or activists they don't understand the United States of America, and our culture is one of true tolerance, which means you listen to the other side. You may express your opposition, but you listen. Universities for the free open marketplace of ideas. And apparently, these students don't get that. They are about bullying, intimidation, hate, bigotry. And that is something that we as Christians must stand up against. When we see someone of the Jewish faith, for example, who is being harassed, being laughed at, who's being prevented from being able to give their speech, he had to cut his speech short because of this. When we see that, we need to stand up to them respectfully and with dignity. We need to defend these people who are being attacked and not allowed the respect and humanity that they deserve as human beings. Secondly, though, is the fact of how they dealt with him when he came out and he said that he came out of the closet and he was gay. Now, I as a Christian do not believe it is morally right or God's will for individuals to live a gay lifestyle. Clearly, and Scripture clearly shows that. But I also believe that the way Christ would have responded would have been very different than the way this group responded. We as Christians need to have love and respect for individuals who are sharing about themselves, their perspective, their background, whatever that may be, including those who are talking about how they came out of the closet. The Christian response would be to listen and to understand and engage in perhaps a dialogue and even better yet, a relationship afterwards. That's not what we saw here. We saw hatred, we saw mockery, we saw a disrespect and a lack of humanity for this man because of his sexual orientation or his gay lifestyle. That is something also that we as Christians need to call out. We need to go to the defense of individuals who are being attacked because the love of Christ compels nothing less.